Hello and welcome. Aged only 7, he became a child soldier sent from Sudan to fight in Ethiopia's brutal war. Through a lot of luck and determination, he managed to turn his life around, becoming one of Africa's hottest music stars. This week on One on One, meet Sudanese hip-hop singer and activist Emmanuel Jal. He was only a boy when civil war broke out in Sudan, forcing his father to join the Sudan People's Liberation Army, the SPLA. An already troubled childhood became that much worse when his mother died soon after he turned 7. So the promise of an education in Ethiopia easily lured him and thousands of other lonely children like him. But many ended up recruited by the SPLA and taken to military training camps disguised as schools in the Ethiopian bush, where they were brainwashed into becoming ruthless killers. A twist of fate allowed him and a group of others to run away, but not all survived the escape through the jungle. Emmanuel Jal's disturbing story of death, destruction and lost youth has now become the subject of a candid movie which documents his tough transition from a child soldier to one of Africa's leading musical lights. Central to the theme of his songs is his campaign for peace among opposing sides in Sudan and the clear message that children have no place in wars. Emmanuel, it's great to talk with you. You're one of Africa's fastest rising stars, but you had a really unlikely start, as we're going to find out in this interview. So tell me how you're coping with the success, the fame, the interest.
Really, I'm not really into the fame yet because it's not yet in me, but I'm trying to utilize the platform that I've gotten to highlight what is happening to my people and also to give back to the community.
Now, one thing, your music is getting very high profile. You had a song in Blood Diamond, the hit movie. You performed at Live 8. How much are you finding you're in demand?
This constant, in fact, for me, like, I find it like I'm really living in a shock yet. I haven't yet absorbed it because I've never known like music actually I can feed off the music because coming from a war-torn country and then being fed on aid for 25 years, and at the moment I'm getting something off what I'm doing, and people are asking me come and sing, and they like what I'm doing. It's actually making me happy.
You were born in Sudan, but you moved around a lot as a child soldier. You've studied abroad and everywhere. Where do you call home? Where do you spend most of your time?
What I find, like what I call home is where you are loved. So if you're in a place and you feel you're loved, then there's the warmth that I call that home. Because since I left my home, I haven't gone back to the same village that I was taken from.
You know, we should look into your background because, I mean, out of all the people I've interviewed, you have one of the most fascinating backgrounds. It's a story of tragedy, triumph. I mean, it's quite incredible. And let's look back at the time. You were born in Sudan, but you don't even know really when. Do you know how old you are?
I don't know when I was born, but I tend to believe I was born 1st of January, and that's how many ex-child soldiers or lost boys would say like they were born on that date, because we just guess a date in which we say we were born on.
Why pick that date?
It's because it's easy and it's easy number.
How old are you? You don't know, maybe between 25?
I think 27.
Now, let's look also into your family history. Your father was a member of the Sudan People Liberations Army, the SPLA. Was it inevitable that you also would get either dragged into or would want to go into that the SPLA as well, into that fighting force?
Yeah, what happened is the extremeness of what we have experienced, what I've experienced, what I've seen and witnessed when I was a child, you know. I've seen my village burn in my face. I've seen people dying. And the war has reached the core of my heart, into my family maybe. I'm not ready to talk about it here. But I also witnessed my auntie getting raped on my face when I was only 5. And all those things. And when we're taken to Ethiopia that we're going to go to school, you know, all those cars and seeing my mom cry, seeing her tears all the time, accumulated a certain kind of bitterness, wanting to revenge to the people who was caused.
And your mother died. Your mother died when you were only 7 years old as well.
Yes.
What do you remember of her?
My mom has been an inspiration to me. What I remember of her is she used to pray a lot, and she used to I never used to see her shout if things are wrong. She used to try to calm us down. And when there's bomb dropping and houses burn, my mom used to come and hold us down and cover us and tell us it's gonna be all right. God is watching us.
What happened to her?
She died, and I don't understand how she died, but we got separated when we're running different places. Say that she got shot, or I don't know what happened to her.
And you were only 7, I mean, when that happened, and pretty much immediately you were recruited into the SPLA. How did they get you into the SPLA? How did you get recruited?
We were told we're going to school, and all of us were excited, and also because it was insecure. And I was also staying, my mom wasn't there, and I'm staying with aunties or different houses, different people taking care of me because we're all scattered. And then my dad say, I have to go. So I say, fine, let me go. With the rest of thousands of children, then we went to Ethiopia.
And the school was sort of run under the noses of the United Nations and international organizations because it was disguised as a school as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So when people came to observe what was happening from outside, what did they do? How was the environment changed?
They don't know, like, actually we're soldiers, so it's a good acting. So because in the scene they come in the day, we just pretend to be poor kids and everything, so we get more food, and we used to share that with the soldiers. It's a part of the struggle, and then we're trained and we're really burning, wanting to go and fight.
Yeah, what was the ideology? What was it in your mind that they set, the seed that they planted, that made you want to go out and shoot and kill? How did they convince you?
What I'll say is most of us were already convinced. What they just did is just telling us, do you want to do it? Because most of the kids come from their houses. They've gone through the same situation, some even worse than me. Some of them survived cases whereby their whole family died. Then they're staying as orphans. So most of them we had the bitterness of wanting to, like for me, when I was a child, when I was trained, and when we asked how many, do you really want to be a soldier? Do you want to stand the people who did this to your village? And you forget you're young. So for me, my desire was to kill as many Arabs as possible and as many Muslims as possible.
And you thought of them as Arabs and Muslims?
Yes, because I didn't have an idea of what is what, but what I knew is they are lighter skinned than me, and these are the people who are causing this. And that's how we were trained.
And you were trained, I mean, in advanced military techniques by the age of 8. You were taught, quite efficiently how to kill. What did they teach you?
We are taught how to attack a town, how to survive when you have no food. You can't eat the trees, eat rat snakes. And we're taught how to, when you have no weapon, how can you make a weapon? Because even the training was useful to us, because when we weren't trained, the wild animal used to attack us, and it was difficult for thousands of children to stay, because every night. But after we're trained, we're able to learn how to guard, we're able to learn how to cook, because thousands of us died of starvation because we didn't know how to cook for ourselves food.
So it was survival skills, really?
Yeah, survival skills and how to attack a town.
And how, I mean, obviously you were carted off to another country, you're in Ethiopia. So again, it was a very different environment for you. How did you find camaraderie and brotherhood and, amongst yourselves? Were you close?
We used to be close, but mostly it damaged me because most of my friends, people constantly die. So, and what we learn is we're taught not to be very emotionally involved or attached to friends. So you have a friend, if they move to another place, you don't miss them. So, because we used to miss our family a lot. You miss home. You cry until, but you can't get home. You try to escape, but you can't. But we've been made to be hard, to harden our hearts and to be like adults, not to miss anything.
But you did. You ran away in the end. You did manage to get away with quite a few other child soldiers. Tell me about that. Why did you run away, and what did you do to get away?
Actually, running away was on a failed battle, a town that we were trying to capture, and because there was tribalism that came in, and I said, okay, the enemy that we're fighting is supposed to be Arabs. Why are we fighting each other? So if everything has turned to one another, I have to go back home and protect my village. And that's what happened to the rest, and we tried to escape.
Tell me about that journey, because you traveled for hundreds of miles as you were sort of fleeing that SPLA environment. Tell me about what happened, how you survived, because I know many children died, you were attacked by animals, you survived. I mean, some of the children had to turn to cannibalism.
Yeah, that's what happened. Like for me, this is where I found my mom was useful, because it happened to me. There was one of the point when one of my friend, when there was nothing, and one of my friend died, and I was reduced to nothing, and was planning to eat him the next day. So, and I said, God, if you're there, God of my mother, give me something to eat, and I'm going to live to testify about it someday. And that was the only way I survived.
And you found food?
A foolish bird just came across, and my friend shot it. He died. He couldn't eat it, so I ended up eating everything, because he only had strength to shoot it before me. And I felt bad because that guy later died and he didn't enjoy anything. So I ate from the nails to the pick, and I ate everything.
How do you think that time has affected you as a young adult now? How do you think that time as a child soldier has left its mark on you?
The effects are the headaches. I normally have constant migraine, and I constantly have backache, and my chest is normally constricting. And
you think this is a result of the mental pressure you've had?
And then I got a high blood pressure, and I had a lot of ulcers, and that's only the health that I know. But I had a lot of dreams. I normally have dreams, but they are not that effective as before, because I'm busy now, and I have a proper therapy, and it doesn't affect me like when I was 12 or 13.
Well, Emmanuel, I want to touch more on how your life changed in just a moment. We're going to take a short break here, back with One on One in just a moment. Stay with us.